hard to compete with this year's Best Pictures nominees when 2019 was such a knockout of a year. I'm surprised with some of the nominees this year and of course some major snubs, but I watched all of the films that were nominated for the Grand Award and I thought I should rank them because, I make videos. I want to preface that these are not being ranked by which movie I think will win. It's just going to be ranked from personal preference and enjoyment like my other rankings. Please let me know down below what your ranking is. Now let's get to it. Let me start by saying that Belfast and the number 9 film on this list are actually bad films in my opinion. They bored me to death and both actually made me sleepy when I saw them in theaters. Otherwise, 8 through 1 are great films that I would watch again. So yeah, number 10, my least favorite, is Belfast. I can understand why this is nominated and why it was critically acclaimed. Kenneth Branagh is a movie god, and clearly the grumpy white old men who nominate these films were going to enjoy this. I mean, hell, when I saw this in theaters, I was alone with a bunch of senior citizens. That's not a bad thing, I'm just saying. I love personal stories, but this had no meaning and no clear direction in my eyes. It was a snooze fest to say the least, and if it wins, I will never watch the Oscars again. God, I'm so dramatic. Another bad film in my eyes, and yeah, Belfast is exponentially better when it comes to cinematography, writing, and editing. I still would rather watch this if I had a gun pointed at my head. I don't understand why this is hyped up so much. I agree fully with the bad critic reviews. The editing in this film is some of the worst I have ever seen, and it's sad. I really love Adam McKay, and if you want to see, go check out my video where I rank his filmography. I give him props, and the entire crew and cast deserve the limelight because I listened to a podcast about the making of the film, and that was way more interesting to me than this film. It seems to me that Adam McKay is better at making a movie when he's doing a comedy with Will Ferrell or basing it off real events like Vice or Big Short. I pushed this film back for so long because of the 3-hour runtime, and usually that does not bother me. But I think because it's a foreign film, I knew I'd have to give my full attention. Not saying I don't already do that, but it seemed daunting. I watched Drive My Car earlier this week, and I expected more. It's a beautiful looking film, but I do not care for the main character. The moment this man walked away after catching his wife cheating, I did not respect him. It's completely fine if you enjoy this and felt close with his character. I just did not. I don't know why it's called Drive My Car when not even half of the movie is dedicated to him and the woman who drives it. I just wanted more from the good things I was hearing and just felt a little bit disappointed. But I would give it a second chance. I think the worst person in the world should have taken this spot. Why were the 2 most talked about international films based mostly around cheating this year? Just remember, 8 through 1 are good films in my eyes. Just because it's low doesn't mean I don't like it. I would just rather watch the ones coming up. Nightmare Alley was another disappointment for me. If you saw my video on it, you'll see I actually liked it, but compared to Guillermo del Toro's other films, this was not even close to his best. I loved Bradley Cooper and the entire story arc his character goes through, but I read something that kind of encapsulates how I feel. Someone wrote on Letterboxd that I appreciate this film and Guillermo's directing, but it's hard to feel immersed in the world when the sets feel like stage props and are overly glamorized for what's supposed to be a dirty and grungy tale. The Power of the Dog was the last film I just watched this week. I actually watched this when it was released on Netflix opening day, but needed to rewatch it. When I first heard about this film, I knew I was getting into a story where Benedict Cumberbatch was playing a closeted man. During that first watch, I wasn't paying much attention to other details in the story except him and him alone. Then, my mom recently watched the film, and the next day I asked, "How'd you like it?" And she said, "I thought it was good. How'd you feel about the son basically being a serial killer?" And I gasped. I did not catch one bit of that, and clearly I'm stupid, and I know I went on my phone here and there, so I completely missed the point of the film. Let's just say this second time around I got it. Still a bit long in my opinion, but way better when you actually follow the damn movie. I am so dumb. Knowing my mom, this would be her pick. She loves West Side Story and saw it twice in the same week, but me on the other hand, it was just a good time. I love musicals. My first memory of my mom showing me a movie was Grease, and it completely changed my life. I was excited for West Side Story, and there's a lot to love about the film. I distinctly remember leaning over to my mom and commenting on how amazing the cinematography was and how I thought it was some of Spielberg's best. but that was early into the film, and the longer it went on, I cared a bit less. The performances are stellar, and the music is iconic, but I wouldn't put West Side Story even in my top 5 musicals. That's just me. I would be pretty upset if this won Best Picture because there are some great original films that deserve the award. Now, if you're like me and watched all of these films, you're probably thinking, why the hell is King Richard at number 4? I know. Some would say King Richard is a basic, by-the-book kind of movie, and you know what? That's my bread and butter. What's so bad with safe storytelling? As long as you make a great film and keep me engaged, I'm all in. With King Richard, I was all in. I love sports dramas, and make it a biopic and you got me completely invested. Like I said in my solo video about the film, this was better than I thought it was going to be. Will Smith completely embodies Serena Venus Williams' father, and the 2 actresses who play the young tennis stars were magnetic. I could have watched a miniseries about this story. I agree that this shouldn't win Best Picture, but like I said earlier in this video, this is ranked on enjoyment, not what I think will win, and I'd love to watch this again. I'm surprised with myself that I'm putting this at number 3, but I guess it is because I still have the next 2 films fresh in my mind. If you watch my actual videos and stay tuned to this channel, then you know I love Dune. Go watch my video on it if you want the full spill. I love Dune. It is one of the best shot films I have ever seen in my life. The sound design is unlike anything I have heard before. I went in blind to Dune, not knowing anything of the story, the book, the earlier David Lynch film, just some basic knowledge here and there. Dune is a cinematic achievement, and it's really sad to see how distant the grumpy white old men are when it comes to nominating this. The fact Denis Villeneuve wasn't nominated for Best Director is fucking blasphemy. The Academy Awards really had us all fooled back when Parasite won, but this year, they are digging themselves a hole. I didn't even mention the recent news about Rachel Zegler not getting invited to the actual ceremony when she's the fucking star of West Side Story. But yeah, she got invited, but only after an internet outrage. Also, the fact that they took off categories from being read on live television to only be read off screen is stupid. They clearly don't care about film and how they are made. I guarantee they don't even watch all of the movies they nominate. But yeah, rant aside, Dune is epic. I love it then, and I still think about it now. I would be surprised if it won Best Picture, but if it did, I wouldn't be upset. That's a win for sci-fi movies and Denis. I just watched Coda for the first time this week, and recently just watched it again, and posted my video on it yesterday. If you saw that video, then you know I absolutely loved it. And I also talk about the criticism it's getting for also being a step-by-step movie, but it works so damn well. Nothing is better than a family movie in my opinion, and the coming-of-age story of Ruby and her deaf family is incredibly heartwarming, and I'm glad we have been getting more films about that in recent years. I sobbed watching this, and I was on the verge of sobbing again the second time, and thinking about it now, it brings a tear to my eye. It's not the best film on this list, but if a movie connects with me on an emotional level, then it already wins in my heart. I've been reading that this is a good chance at winning, going up against The Power of the Dog, and I wish this would win. It's a movie that everyone should watch, and I believe everyone would enjoy. The Power of the Dog is a clear Oscar-worthy film, but something about Coda makes me so damn happy. I feel like a broken record, but if you watch my videos, then you saw this coming. Licorice Pizza was my favorite movie of 2021, and since that video, I saw it 2 more times in theaters. I love this movie. There is something so unique and classic about Licorice Pizza. It is amazing that Paul Thomas Anderson has made so many movies in so many different genres and never misses. I know there's internet criticism against this movie, especially regarding the age gap between Gary and Alana, but who gives a fuck? There are countless other films out there with that kind of premise. Licorice Pizza is an instant classic in my opinion. I've said that about some other films on this channel, but Licorice Pizza got me excited about movies again. I vividly remember seeing La La Land back in high school. The minute that movie ended, I said, that's my favorite movie. It just instantly clicked in my head that it would be with me forever, and I got that same feeling with Jojo Rabbit in 2019, and then again when I saw Licorice Pizza. I could watch this any day of the week and it would still enthrall me. I don't see this being anywhere close to winning, but if it did, there'd be a whole lot of haters. but in that crowd would be one big smile on my face.
I'm not gonna forget you. Just like you're not gonna forget me. Gross.
Roll sound. Roll camera A. Roll camera B. Marking. Action. I'm coming that thing!
Hello?
Every Friday for new movie videos. Please like, share, and subscribe. Comment down below what other movies you would like me to do videos on. Thank you, Mom, for editing the scripts for my movie essays. I appreciate you. Till next time, thanks for watching. Catch you on the flip side.